So, our story begins as all good stories do in a tavern. Specifically, the Rusty Horseshoe, a tavern on the kind of at the lower ends. It's a bit of a dive bar on the near the dockside of the city, the great city of Waterdeep. You've spent much time in the city of Waterdeep, and you are aware of the grandeur of the place. You are no longer in awe of the magnificence of the large buildings, of the ships, the giant ships that come in and out of the port. You can smell the salt in the air that blows in off of the ocean, but it no longer sparks the same kind of feeling of adventure that it has in your mind in the past. And so, in fact, you have found yourselves now. I'm sorry. Do we all know each other? Okay, we do all know each other. Good.
Kurgan and Sean are drinking buddies.
Yeah.
Kurgan and Castor, they fought together, and Castor was wounded and was healed by Kurgan.
Okay, good.
And Castor has utilized Sean as a fence in the past.
Perfect. So you find yourselves drinking at the Rusty Horseshoe at this particular time of day. It's around noon. It's around the middle of the day. The sun burns hot in the sky. The sound of wagon wheels, sort of grinding along the paved roads outside the tavern are in the background. You can hear certainly the seabirds in the air, as well as the clinking of glasses. There is a... Yes, I am the DM. Get it, Emily. There is a particularly large, and it's unusual to say particularly large because she is half orcish, and half orcs have a tendency to be larger people. But there's a half orcish bartender behind the bar. She is probably 7.5 to 8 feet tall. So she's not particularly tall, but she is especially broad of shoulder. She looks like she could easily wrestle a shark to the ground, which is the way that you would wrestle sharks naturally. Anyway, she's behind the bar. You're very familiar with her. Her name is Gruna. Gruna is the bartender. And as she looks at the three of you that have gathered around the table, she just kind of, she, by the way, she has an eye patch also. She only has one eye. She has an eye patch. And she looks over at you, kind of assessing the fullness of your cups. And she says, what'll it be, boys? Another round?
Yes, 2 for each of us.
Make mine ginger ale.
No. We're here to talk. We're here to hang out. Drinks for my friends here.
Right. 2 drinks for each. And she yells at somebody in the back. Sturm! 2 more for the usual. You know how she gets. And a much smaller human man, dressed in sort of dirty clothes and with grubby face. He's obviously been scrubbing pots and dishes and things like that behind. He comes out and he's with this tray and he sort of stumbles his way over to your table. He sets it down and he's, hey, you are my friends. And is there anything else that I can get you?
Wine, a bottle of your finest wine.
Right, a bottle of finest wine. And he rushes off back into the kitchen. He comes back with a bottle of wine. Here's your wine. And is there anything else at all that I can get for you?
We need 3 cups for the wine.
3 cups of the wine, right? He runs off back to the thing, and he comes back with the 3 cups. He's like, there you are. Anything else? And at this point, he's at sort of a middle-aged man. He's very out of breath. He's not in shape. This poor man, Sturm. And first mistake was not choosing mead. Nice. And he says, "Is there anything else? Anything else that I can bring you?"
Water.
Right, okay. Got it. And he just runs immediately to the at full. And now he's panting when he comes back, and there's sweat all over his brow. He plunks down a skin full of water. And anything else that I could get for
my friend.
You have
take a minute, drink the water.
Right.
Just relax a little bit.
All right.
All right.
As I've got my own water. But yeah, yes. Did you need something, sir? They
Do you have any like house specialty foods, like a blooming onion, anything that nature?
I'm not familiar with a blooming onion, but
Fine. Something salty, something that will help me from getting too drunk.
something that will help you from getting. Well, we have a lovely assortment of meats and cheeses from the nearby market. If that does do the trick.
Yes, get us your best charcuterie board.
Yes,
Yes.
charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board, yes. Oh, and we do have a lovely stew. It's made from game that's caught and trapped in the local forest just outside the city. If you would like that, it's ox and potatoes and game.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't eat this.
Yes.
No. I love ox and potato.
Stew sounds great. Yeah, we'll have 3 stews, a glass for the wine, and then gone.
Right, and he runs back to the kitchen. He comes back with all of those things. He plunks them on the table, and almost before you have a chance to say anything, he immediately runs away the other way as far as he can go, panting as fast as he can. And the 3 of you are left at the table to discuss matters. So let's also start by, I don't think have we described your characters?
Not really.
Yeah, so let's start with a description of
lightweight.
your characters. So, Sean, start with describing your character, if you would be so kind.
All right. Well, I'm dressed in dark clothing, with a decent, nice piece of armor over the top of it, but it's all pretty utilitarian, except for the shoes, which are really nice. Fine shoes made of leather, obviously crafted by a master craftsman. I'm a little on the short side of about 5'6", but I am shockingly thin. Probably weigh 110 pounds roughly. And I have this very pale skin and just a shock of red hair. And red eyes that seem to just emit this little bit of a greenish glow all the time.
All right. Very nice. And
What expected that?
what's that?
I wasn't expecting that.
all right, Caster, describe your character.
Oh, I'm a forest gnome. Someone said in chat earlier that someone should have a pet snake. I totally want a pet snake because forest gnomes have, like, they can talk to small animals and always have like a pet. I kind of want to have a pet snake. And 4 foot tall, black hair. I got a wispy Jafar beard, and I try to dress like a dandy, but I have older things with like shoulder holsters with knives peeking out of my boot, and I bought knives for around my waist. So, and that's it. And I have a noble signet ring and fine cloak.
All right, and Kurgan, last but not least.
So I'm a half elf, human, tall, tall for human, or 6'2". I've got the jawline, good looking. I walk into the room and I own my charisma. I've got like ornate armor. It's not plate because I'm not that fancy yet, but it's definitely got some designs. And everywhere I have a cape that goes with me, and everywhere I go, I like to walk into the room and own it.
Nice, very good. So as the 3 of you are sitting there at the table, and you've now got this magnificent spread of sort of charcuterie and stew and wine and whatever else they brought you, this sort of grog that they're serving. What is your conversation about? What are the 3 of you talking about?
We need some money.
Always need.
I don't like real work. I stab a piece of meat with a knife.
I pour drinks for everyone.
Alright.
I also pour drinks for everyone, and then I kind of like sleight of hand. I don't drink fully. Kind of feel like gonna Dean Martin all this alcohol a little bit.
Roll a sleight of hand check for me.
Oh wait, that's Dex. That was good.
All right. So 16. Yep. Yeah, you managed to successfully conceal the fact that you're drinking this wine on the sly. So you're definitely getting drunk significantly slower than your friends. To which point, about this point, as you're having this conversation, one of the other patrons who has got a robe kind of around them, and there's a hood that's like sort of thrown over their head. It's as if they, picture the mysterious stranger who sits in the back of the room, but picture them as if they look like they put their clothes on backwards, essentially. And they're just kind of stumbling around, and they stumble over and they kind of sit down at the table by you. And so you're this sort of round table. So they sit down at the table by you, and to bust with the hood, and it's over their eyes and in their face, and they eventually pull back the hood. And what you see is a tiefling woman. You would say she was in her early 30s, thereabouts. Tieflings aging around the same as humans do. And she very clearly is drunk. And she says, "Oh, my friends, what brings you into Waterdeep? What are you doing in town?"
Oh, I'm just a traveling accountant. Just blowing off some steam. Hard day. And as I say that, I kind of shake my leg a little bit, and this dark-colored metal creature kind of comes out of the leg and starts to go around the woman, looking for an opportunity. It's basically a metallic rat, and it's looking for an opportunity to pick her purse.
All right. Very good. And she says, but I thought I heard you say that you needed money.
Well, yes. I mean, who doesn't need money? We're not all accountants, but we all have skills.
What do you have? Do you have something?
Yeah, I know people that need things, and if you can get them the things that they need, then they will get you the money to have the things that you need, and everyone will be happy.
Then why don't you give us the money, and then we'll go get the thing?
No, I don't have money. I don't have money. I know the people who know the money for the things. And the things and stuff and things.
So you're saying that you know of work, but you're not offering work?
I don't have work, but I know where you could get work.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's always worth talking to a potential employer.
Yeah, as long as the work's not beneath me.
No, I'm sure these are very important people. They have importance, and their work is important, I'm sure.
How do we go about meeting people?
Well, I would say follow me, and I will take you to them.
Okay. I quickly start stuffing my pockets with charcuterie board.
Nice.
And I pick up my glass of water and I hand it to her and say, "You should probably drink this."
Yes, thank you. And she downs the glass in almost one single gulp, very quickly.
I throw some gold on the table to cover everything.
Got it. And as
Very flippant way.
And as you do, as you start to kind of follow her out the front door, the bartender sort of flips you guys a little salute, and as if almost to say, "I'll see you when you come back."
My rat comes back up my pant leg.
Rat in the pants. Got it. Step one, rat in the pants. Understood.
Step one, rat in the pants.
Good. So you start to follow. You start to follow this lady. And as she winds her way through the city, kind of stumbling a bit here and there, through the market district of town, and she comes to an area where the market district divides off, and there are essentially alleyways that branch off of the market district, kind of in all four directions. The market is walled in by this sort of high wall. That's there to protect it from the elements and things like that. During some seasons, they're actually able to put like coverings over the top of it so that the rain doesn't bother it. So she darts off down one of these side alleyways. The alleyways are mostly for like water runoff, so they're pretty narrow. But she darts off kind of down one side of them. It is sloped downward away from the market district so that the water can run out so it doesn't pool within the marketplace there. And she starts to stumble her way down the alley. You continue to follow her?
Yes, but I also we should take stock, Caster, take stock to see if we're being followed.
Tell me what to do. Now follow me. And I walk off.
You walk, so you just follow her directly?
Yeah.
Nice.
I look around briefly, but quickly hurry after him.
Okay.
And just stay close.
Perfect. And
Onward.
Trust this person.
So as you guys follow her. You follow her down this path, and it goes into this, kind of maze where it snakes around through the city. You eventually find yourself coming out into a bit of, not a clearing, but a larger kind of open space. And we're now in the district of town where a lot of the non-humans live, the lower class non-humans. So Waterdeep is a town that's, in a lot of ways, it's very, very, when it comes to the commoners, it's very, very racially segregated. And so you're coming into an area of town where mostly it's made up of non-humans. Whereas in the part of town that's upwards towards the north and towards the palace, there are more villas and kind of multi-story manors and things like that. Here you have more kind of apartments and dorms that are also built on multiple stories, but you can tell from the placement of the doors on the outside that the rooms inside are much, much smaller. And so you come out into a street where two of these are kind of facing each other. As you do, she starts to point you towards the one that's on the left, which is it's the style is almost like an Adobe style. It's just kind of a very mud-styled building with kind of plain wooden doors. There is a brass lantern hanging from in front of what appears to be the main entrance to the building, swinging a little bit in the breeze. And she motions you towards that door, and she then opens the door and goes inside and holds the door open for you.
After you.
I stride right in.
All right.
I stay on his heels.
Okay.
I have like a handkerchief out, like I'm touching things with. Yeah.
I'll go on last.
Okay. Perfect. You all go in, and the door shuts, and you find yourself suddenly and almost without description, or without explanation, rather, in complete and utter darkness.
Told you to watch the entire time, caster.
This is all part of it.
An amusement park.
This must be like a pitch or something.
Yes, good old darkness, my old friend. Exactly.
Oh.
Suddenly, out of the darkness, you see a pair of eyes glow green. And then another pair of eyes lights up red across the other side of the room, and another pair of red and another pair of green. And you see red and green pairs of eyes all around the room as they start to light up. And you hear in the background a low sort of chanting sound.
Time to leave. Where is the door?
Start feeling the doors.
So you're just sort of feeling blindly around the room looking for a door, any place where you could find it.
Well, we just walked in, so I thought I'll go back that way.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna move just away from the direction they're going and crouch down and try and just.
Okay, perfect.
Am I near a wall or something? Do I feel a wall?
You can feel a wall. Yeah, the wall feels smooth.
All right. I'd like to take my mace out and hit the wall.
You would like to hit the wall with your mace.
Yep.
That's
Just maybe if there's some light, some sunlight, something. I
That-
don't know.
Yeah, that sounds great. Go ahead and make an attack roll with your mace. Let's see, that's a 15 to hit. So you hit the wall. The wall clangs with a metallic sound. And you don't appear to do any damage to it.
It's a trap. It's a trap. Quickly.
I still think we're fine. It's... Sirs, my name is Kazit Thundersprig. We were here to do business with you. If you could turn on a light, that would be nice.
Suddenly, the room around you seems to begin to spin. And things get very, very blurry, sort of in your, not in your vision because it's very dark, but just in your mind, things begin to get blurry. And as they do, I'll need each of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh god. Oh.
All right, and that's how it ends.
That's not good.
Oh my gosh! For the first one's a 3.
There's a natural one, too.
That's a 1. Yep.
Oh,
That's a 10.
natural
Okay.
one.
But you get advantage, don't you?
10.
And then a 15. Okay. So we have a 3, a 10, and a 15. So, Kurgan, you almost immediately pass out from the just from the thing. You're immediately unconscious. The other two of you manage to maintain your feet. But you get very, very woozy as the room continues to spin. The chanting seems to get louder and louder and louder. And then all of a sudden, as quickly as it had begun, it stops. And yes, and you start to wake up. You wake back up like that. And it's just retching in the corner. And the lights fade back up in the room, and you find yourself in what appears to be now a circular metal room that looks like it had no bearing on the room outside. The tiefling woman is standing in front of you, very clearly uninebriated in any way. And you are surrounded also by approximately 15 or 20, you can't get the exact number because they're packed relatively closely into the room, beings of various different shapes and sizes. There, you see another tiefling or two, several humans, a couple of elves, there's at least one dwarf, and there is actually a dragonborn towards the back of the room as well.
I'm gonna put my hands up. I'm gonna slowly move towards the tiefling. Say, we're not after any trouble. We just came in good faith, thinking that'd work for us. If you want proof of who we are, and I'm gonna kind of dig around for my ID. When my hand comes back up, I will have a crossbow pointed directly at her head.
As you do that, several individuals in the room make moves also for weapons, but she holds up her hand and kind of waves them off, and they lay their weapons down. And she says, I apologize for the subterfuge and the way that I led you astray, but as you will come to understand soon, it was necessary so that I was not discovered in the city, and so that I could bring you safely to this place. For I have an errand of extreme urgency that I think you are uniquely suited to carry out.
Does it pay well?
It will pay quite well. In fact, and she looks at you and she says, forgive me for the observation, but it appears that perhaps you are less than concerned about where the source of your wealth comes from?
It is an interesting observation. Answer me one question, and perhaps I will lower my weapon.
Very well.
Why should I trust you?
You have no reason in the world to trust me. But if you do, I can promise you wealth, I can promise you riches, and I can promise you a stake in something far more important than either of those things. He says, if you will agree to hear me out, then the choice is entirely yours. If you choose not to undertake the mission, then you are welcome to return back to the exact place where we first met, and I will trouble you no more and seek aid and assistance elsewhere. However, I believe that once you've heard all that there is to hear, you will in fact want to assist.
Do I get a sense that she's being honest with me in this one?
Roll a check of some kind. Sorry, I just forgot the stat. Insight. Thank you. Let's see. The insight roll is an 11.
11.
You, for all that you could tell, she is being honest at this point.
We might as well hear her out. We could always just kill them all.
Yes. And I'm going to put my crossbow away, reach into my hand, and start eating cheese and meat. I reach into my pocket and start eating cheese that we picked up at the bar.
Oh, God. Jeez. Oh,
And there are a couple of people that are like rapidly working very hard to clean up what he's doing in the corner over there. As
do
he's
not feel good.
being nauseated by your cheese. Oh,
Uh-oh.
we have a green screen again. He may have just stepped away for a moment. She says, "Please join me," and she gestures to a table that's set at one side of the room. Puking over cheese. Yes, that's the best way to do it. She sits down at one end and offers you seats. Just here's a little wine for your stomach, and she slides it down to the table.
I will drink all of it.
She says, again, my apologies for the circumstances under which we met. My name is Azura, and I am the leader of the Children of the Oracle. We are a prophetic society that has existed in secret throughout the Forgotten Realms for some time. And we have recently come into the possession of knowledge of an artifact known as the Tome of the Unwritten. The Tome of the Unwritten is a volume of prophecy with almost unimaginable and unspeakable power. And worse yet, we have discovered that that tome is intended to be used as an offering to the Dark Lord Asmodeus. Everybody roll a religion check for me. Cults never end well. That's true.
15?
I got a 15. I got a 10 and I got a 5. Kurgan, you have no idea what's going on.
I
You're
just studied religion my whole life.
you're
God.
a cleric, so and naturally you know nothing about religion. That's
Yeah, but
yeah.
I'm still over here.
Yeah, yes, you're still Ralphing in the corner, so we're just gonna say that. Caster, you've heard of Asmodeus. You know that he's one of the lords of the Nine Hells. And Sean, you know a little bit more about. Sorry, I should be using character names, but you know a little bit more than that. You know that Asmodeus is an especially bad dude. He's been involved in at least one plot to end the world, such as it is. And you know that when his name is invoked, things are typically pretty serious. That you don't want to mess around with that. So if somebody he's cleric in training, got kicked out. If somebody is trying to bring Asmodeus, or they're trying to bring offerings to Asmodeus in some way, that's probably a pretty bad situation. Probably something that would the normal person would want to avoid.
You are trying to avoid Asmodeus from getting this, correct?
Of course, there's nothing we desire more but to see to it that he never gets his vile hands on this tome of unspeakable power.
What do you want it for?
Well, we are a society, as I had mentioned previously, of prophets, and a book of prophecy, under all circumstances, would be of interest to us. However, in this particular case, it's of greater interest to us because of the great power that it wields. We believe that if we are able to recover it, we will be able to guard it safely so that it does not fall into the wrong hands again.
So do you know where it is?
Yes, we do know where it is. It is in the possession of a family in Waterdeep, a relatively wealthy family. You may have heard of them. They are known as the Vaith family.
Vaiths.
Yes, the Vaiths. You guys would have heard of the Vaith family. That's Veith, in case anyone cares or is taking notes. They are a particularly wealthy family in the town of Waterdeep, and they're well politically connected. They come from merchant stock, so they have kind of worked their way up in the world of the wealthy of Waterdeep. And they're largely, though, kind of mild-mannered. Like, you would not expect them to be in on a satanic plot to end the world.
Maybe they don't know what they have. You should go relieve them.
They're not a family you mess with easily. Yeah, they're mild, but they're wealthy, and wealth always brings trouble.
You're in trouble if you get caught.
Well, and when I say that, I mean other people's wealth gets you in trouble. Your own wealth gets you out of it. Perhaps we can just. Perhaps they need an accountant.
Are there any weird stories about this Vaith family that maybe they're not above board?
Are you asking her, or are you asking for your own knowledge?
I'll ask for my own knowledge.
Roll a history check for me.
Wow.
I mean,
I rolled 4 natural ones.
just wait till we get to combat.
And you're the knowledge cleric,
I
right?
am.
Just
I'm
yes,
just wondering, the
Who you like? What was 4?
so that the knowledge of religion and the knowledge of history apparently not included in the knowledge domain for clerics. Also puking in the corner. He's got nothing. That's true.
A bad day. A bad day.
Listen, you've heard the same things about the Vaith as everybody else has. The Vaith family, they seem to be largely pretty upstanding citizens by all reports. But above and beyond that, you don't have much else going on.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So, you, the person we just met,
Yes.
telling us that the Vaith family are cultists, essentially. You want us to go rob them. Do you want us to go rob the upstanding citizens?
Correct.
I'm just trying to get okay.
Yes.
You know,
Precisely.
that makes sense. Yeah.
We suspect that they may be somewhat less than upstanding, obviously.
To my knowledge, they seem to be just fine. Normal people, peaceful. a little weird. You know. They talk to me politics, but it's fine.
Kurgan, it might be worth at least checking in with. Seeing what else they have lying.
I'm willing to investigate them. I don't know if I'm willing just to rob people. Just
Oh.
to...
Well, that's what I do.
Okay.
I got a bag of holding for my uncommon.
Oh, nice.
It said wondrous, but uncommon, right?
That's good.
That's fine. That's totally fine. I do have intelligence that may help you in the process of relieving the Vaith of this particular item that we are seeking. We know that Founders Day, which is in 3 days' time, as you know, and you would know, Founders Day is a large celebration in the city of Waterdeep. It celebrates the founding of the city. There are usually parades. There's a big to-do, like a lot of rich people throw parties. It's one of those kinds of things. She says, of course, they're planning a large Founders Day celebration this year at their home. They're holding an open house for the nobility of the city. And this year, they've gone even farther and are planning to open up their large stable area to the commoners of the city, where they will provide food and drink and music as well. This may be a good time for you to infiltrate and relieve them of the tome.
Have any idea where this film might be kept?
I do. In the house, in the wine cellar of the house, in the basement of the main manor.
You will draw us a map.
I will draw you a map. And she does. She's able to provide you with a map. And basically, what's going on is it's a 3-level manor, essentially. The normal kinds of things: living rooms, bedrooms on the top floor, living quarters in the middle, and sort of reception quarters and kitchen and dining on the bottom floor. Excuse me. And then the map shows that if you go downward, there is a large wine cellar under the house as well. She tells you within this wine cellar is where we expect the artifact to be hidden.
Expected.
Yes, well,
Okay.
as of our last intelligence, that's where it was hidden.
Why don't your people get it? Why are you bringing us in?
We are known about town in other identities. And if we were to be caught in this act, then those identities would be uncovered. We have always kept a pact of secrecy within the Children of the Oracle. It is a part of what we do to protect the other valuable and dangerous artifacts that we have in our care. We cannot risk that secrecy at this time, which is why we seek others to do this work for us.
Where do you store all of the artifacts?
Much as we were able to bring you here, we have means to transport things to many places in Faerun. We have several stronghouses and vaults throughout the lands where we're able to store the artifacts and the tomes that we keep.
A map.
Let's do this.
She says a few other
Wine
items.
cellar, Kurgan. Wine cellar. We're going to a wine cellar of some very rich people.
No, I know. I said draw us a map of these other strongholds. So we
Yeah.
can-
Kurgan doesn't look convinced still.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to draw you a map to our strongholds.
Oh.
Okay. well, how much will you pay us for this? I was thinking, probably do it for 50,000 gold. That should be enough.
She just shakes her head. She says the fee is 10,000 gold. And whatever you're able to take from the house of the intended victim.
For 10,000 gold each.
No, 10,000 gold in total.
Which that can be divided up into half. Half will be split among the three of us. Half goes to the group. Don't worry, I can keep the half for the group.
I'm the accountant. I should have control.
I am confused. I'm confused about the math, but yes.
Okay, we will take half up front.
Very good. Half up front we can certainly accomplish. However, we cannot provide it for you at this exact moment. We do not have that sort of wealth in this place. But we will provide you with the 5,000 in 2 days' time, one day before the event in question. You may also want to know, by the way, that the vault beneath the wine cellar beneath the house is locked with 3 keys. It requires 3 keys. Those 3 keys are held almost at all times on the person of 3 members of the household. The first is held by the Lord of the house, Lord Waste of Vaith. The second is held by the Lady of the house, Louisa Vaith. And the third is held by the head servant, Meligost Marmaril. The vault is also protected by a password, which must be uttered aloud in order to open it once the 3 keys are placed in the door. We unfortunately we are not aware of the passphrase. That you will have to discover on your own.
Probably just password.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I mean, it's probably password 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Maybe an exclamation point.
Oh, maybe we can use your rat, your pant rat.
Your pant rat. Could be.
Have to tell them.
All right, so we've got to do some reconnaissance, and then do this heist. Yeah.
Apparently so.
All right. I'm gonna need some time to talk to my team here, my colleagues.
Very good. Shall we return you to your former place in the city?
Yes, please.
Very good. And the lights go out and the room starts spinning again very fast. While they're chanting and things happen. Everybody roll a Constitution check again. Dang, Caster.
I'm good.
And an 8.
Okay, so so this time you're the one who passes out. The other 2 are fine. When you come to, they are kind of carrying you under the arms through the dusty streets of Waterdeep back towards your former place. As you make your way out of this system of alleys and drainage ways, cobblestones on the ground, you make your way back into the market place. Heresy, condemn the heretic, true. As you make your way into the marketplace, you smell all the smells, the cooked meats and the things that are out there in the marketplace, all of the good things that you would normally get. But suddenly, there's a strange change in the wind. In fact, it's as if there's a huge pulse of wind that kind of just blows through the marketplace out of nowhere, which is strange because, as you recall earlier, I did describe that there is a large wall that is built all the way around the marketplace to prevent things from the elements to get in. But there's a huge downwind that blows into the marketplace, and then another large pulse, and another, and suddenly you hear little muffled cries and screams from various places, and people start running towards the entrance and the exit. They exit down towards the docks and the entrance up from the merchant sector of the city. And as people are screaming, there's more and more of these pulses of wind that are blowing down. They're blowing over stalls. They are blowing through things. You find yourself standing directly in the middle of a now almost completely vacated marketplace. And the sun goes out. Suddenly, it's as if there's been an eclipse. As you look up to the sun, you see a figure with large wings outstretched. And as it comes out from in front of the sun, you recognize it as a red dragon. The red dragon takes one look at you and lands with a deafening roar directly in front of you. So now you're face to face with a slavering dragon. It opens its mouth and you can hear the inhale of air into its lungs. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh,
That's where we'll go next time.
Oh my god. First combat's a dragon.
That's fine. It'll probably be fine. How bad could it be?
I have
We're gonna
18
die.
hit points.
what?